Welcome back, family. Now we continue our foray through the book of Revelation, and now we're at the end. We're in chapter 21 and 22, which are describing the kingdom to us, the kingdom that we're soon going to inherit. Praise the Most High. And in chapter 21, it is what I find to be the greatest promise in the entire Bible. In chapter 21, the greatest promise in the entire Bible. And let us begin and look at the sister text to chapter 21 of Revelation, which is Isaiah chapter 65. Isaiah chapter 65. Isaiah chapter 65. Let's take a look at that. Isaiah 65, and I'm going to begin, let's see. I'm going to begin at verse 17. Isaiah chapter 65, verse 17. Isaiah 65, 17. For behold, I create new heavens and a new earth, and the former shall not be remembered, nor come into mind. But be ye glad and rejoice forever in that which I create. For behold, I create Jerusalem a rejoicing, and her people a joy. And I will rejoice in Jerusalem and joy in my people. And the voice of weeping shall be no more heard in her, nor the voice of crying. There shall be no more thence an infant of days, nor an old man that hath not filled his days. For the child shall die at 100 years old. But the sinner being 100 years old shall be accursed. And they shall build houses and inhabit them. And they shall plant vineyards and eat the fruit of them. They shall not build and another inhabit. They shall not plant and another eat. For as the days of a tree are the days of my people, and mine elect shall long enjoy the work of their hands. They shall not labor in vain, nor bring forth for trouble. For they are the seed of the blessed of Yahweh, and their offspring with them. And it shall come to pass that before they call, I will answer. And while they are yet speaking, I will hear. And the wolf and the lamb shall feed together, and the lion shall eat straw like the bullock, and dust shall be the serpent's meat. They shall not hurt nor destroy in all my holy mountain, saith Yahweh. That's the same promise we're going to read in chapter 21, but it's a beautiful promise. Some people might ask, and so let me answer before someone asks, where it says, and a child shall die 100 years old, but the sinner being 100 years old shall be accursed. So the first 100 years of life, you're a child in the kingdom. The first 100 years of life, from birth to 100 years, you're a child. Okay, you don't start becoming an adolescent until after you're 100 years old. Whereas in this earth, where we live here, when somebody reaches 100, it says they are accursed because in 100 years old here, it's the person's generally in bad health. Generally, they need help doing things they can't see or they can't move very well. It's a different scene when you're 100 years old in this situation that we're in here. But when you're in the kingdom, in your first 100 years, you're still a child. And so you won't stop being a child till after you're 100 years old. Praise the Most High. So, it's a beautiful promise of the word. And he said he will create Jerusalem. Now, this is the thing. Let me ask you, here's your first Bible quiz of the day. Who originally built Jerusalem? Who inhabited and built the original city that our fathers crossed the Jordan and took over, after they received the promised land. Who had built the original Jerusalem? Who inhabited it? Who was the original inhabitants of that city? No, Israel wasn't the original inhabitants. They weren't the original inhabitants. Matter of fact, it was the original inhabitants. If you recall, when you look at Joshua, that one of the children of Judah asked Joshua, "Give me permission, and I'll take it." No, the original inhabitants of what is Jerusalem. When the Israelites came across the Jordan, they did not build the city of Jerusalem. It was already there. It was already there. I'm going to, let me see here. Hang on. I will get the scripture for you in a moment. Okay, this is a few scriptures. I'm going to go first at 1 Chronicles chapter 11. I'm going to go to 1 Chronicles chapter 11 first. But I do want to see, there's a spot in Joshua too. Hold on. Before I go to First Chronicles, there is a spot I want to, one of my favorite spots. I just can't find it right now. Hold on one sec. It's in the book of Joshua, though. Hold on. Hold on, brethren. Okay, chapter 14 of Joshua. Chapter 14 of Joshua. Hold on. Okay. Chapter 14. I'm going to go in Joshua first. Joshua chapter 14. Caleb comes to Joshua with a request. Caleb is of the tribe of Judah. So let's take a look. I'm going to start at verse 6. This is Joshua chapter 14. To me, this is very inspirational. Joshua chapter 14. I'm going to begin at verse 6. I'm going to go from verse 6 down to verse 15. Joshua chapter 14 from verse, then we'll go to First Chronicles. But first, Joshua chapter 14 from verse 6 to verse 15. Then the children of Judah came to Joshua in Gilgal, and Caleb, the son of Jephunneh, the Kenizzite, said unto him, Thou knowest the thing that Yahweh said unto Moses, the man of Most High, concerning me and thee in Kadesh Barnea. 40 years old was I when Moses, the servant of Yahweh, sent me from Kadesh Barnea to espy out the land. And I brought him word again as it was in my heart. Nevertheless, my brethren that went up with me made the heart of the people to melt. But I wholly followed Yahweh my Most High. And Moses sware on that day, saying, Surely the land whereon thy feet have trodden shall be thine inheritance, and thy children's forever, because thou hast wholly followed Yahweh my Most High. And now, behold, Yahweh hath kept me alive, as he said, these 45 years. So he was 40 years old when he first was sent to look at the land, the 12 spots. And the day he's now talking to Joshua is 45 years later. Okay, now he's 85. All right, he's 85 years old. All right, listen now what he said. And now Yahweh hath kept me alive, as he said, these 45 years, even since Yahweh spake this word unto Moses, while the children of Israel wandered in the wilderness. And now, lo, I am this day 85 years old. 85. As yet I am as strong this day as I was in the day that Moses sent me. As my strength was then, even so is my strength now. For war, both to go out and to come in. Now, therefore, give me this mountain whereof Yahweh spake in that day. For thou heardest in that day how the Anakim were there, and the cities were great and fenced. So if it be so, Yahweh will be with me, then I will be able to drive them out, saith Yahweh, as Yahweh said. And Joshua blessed him and gave Caleb the son of Jephunneh Hebron for an inheritance. Hebron became the inheritance of Caleb and the son of Jephunneh and the Kenizzite unto this day, because he wholly followed Yahweh Most High of Israel. And the name of Hebron was before Kirjath Arba, which Arba was a great man among the Anakim, and the land had rest from war. That's where the giants were. Hebron is where Jerusalem was. And that's where the giants were. Okay. So now you have Caleb saying, I'm 85 years old. And if you give me permission, I'll take it. I love that. Caleb, his name means dog. His name means dog. And he said, listen, man, you know I'm a dog. Give me permission and I will take that mountain. And the giants were there. Okay, wait a minute. Let's look at, what am I looking at? I'm looking at, man, what am I looking at? I'm looking at, where is that at? Hold on. I'm looking at First Chronicles. I believe it's chapter 11. This, okay. First Chronicles chapter 11. Okay. First Chronicles chapter 11. Okay. Now I'm going to begin at verse 1 and I'll read down to verse 5. This is First Chronicles chapter 11 from verse 1 to verse 5. Notice what it says. And then all Israel gathered themselves to David unto Hebron, saying, behold, we are thy bone and thy flesh. Moreover, in time past, even when Saul was king, thou was he that led us out and brought us in Israel. So Yahweh thy most high said unto thee, thou shalt feed my people Israel, and thou shalt be ruler over my people Israel. Therefore came all the elders of Israel to the king to Hebron, and David made a covenant with them in Hebron. See, Hebron was for the children of Judah. And they anointed David king over Israel, according to the word of Yahweh by Samuel. And David and all Israel went to Jerusalem, which is Jebus, where the Jebusites were, the inhabitants of the land. And the inhabitants of Jebus said to David, thou shalt not come hither. Nevertheless, David took the castle of Zion, which is the city of David. See, so first the Jebusites controlled that city, and it was called Jebus at first. Once the Israelites took it, the name was Jerusalem. Okay, so the original inhabitants of that city in that area were the Jebusites. And then there were giants in the land, as you saw. The giants were there. They controlled that mountain that Jerusalem sat on. And so later on, the tribe of Judah took it. Okay, they took the whole thing. Okay, and so my point in bringing that up is the city that was originally built there was built there by the Jebusites. But we just read where the Bible said in Isaiah, I'm going to create Jerusalem. Y'all got that? So what does that mean? That means I'm going to make one that's not made with hands. I'm going to make a new Jerusalem that's not made with hands. Okay? It's going to be made by the Father. In fact, in the kingdom, everything is made by the Father. There is no man-made stuff in the kingdom. We will build once we get there. But when the kingdom is granted to us, it's going to be all from the Father, including us. We are made by the Father and born again through the Messiah by the Father. And we will inhabit the land that the Father created. We will inhabit the city that the Father created. Okay? There will be no Jebusites. It's going to be ours. It's going to be Israel's. Does that make sense, y'all? So he said, I'll create Jerusalem a joy. Right? And so that was Isaiah 65. He said, I create Jerusalem a joy. So you have Jerusalem, the new Jerusalem, being created. Now, originally it was Jebus. It was of the Jebusites, and David and Judah took it. Okay, David and Judah took it from the Jebusites. Okay, that's why I said Jebus, which is Jerusalem, because originally it was called Jebus. Okay, now, and I point that out to say, now when you see Jerusalem being mentioned in the kingdom, you must distinguish between the man-made Jerusalem and the Father-made Jerusalem. Right? That makes sense? You must distinguish between the man-made Jerusalem and the Father-made Jerusalem. So once the city of Jerusalem was destroyed by the Romans, so now from even before that, it was a man-made city, right? That was a man-made city. The city of Jerusalem right now is a man-made city, but the one that we're going to inherit is not a man-made city. It's not a man-made city. It's a Father-made city. Okay, so that's why when we get here, Revelation chapter 21, it's going to say the same thing Isaiah 65 said, the mouth of two or three witnesses. It's going to say the same thing Isaiah 65 said, but it's going to tell you not only about a new Jerusalem, but how it's established. Okay, so here in Revelation chapter 21, beginning at verse 1, Revelation chapter 21, beginning at verse 1 and going down to verse 5, Revelation 21, 1 through 5. And I saw a new heaven and a new earth, for the first heaven and the first earth were passed away. Hold on one second. Wait, hold on one second. Sorry. Hold on one second. Sorry about that. Nature called me to cleanse the sanctuary. Nature called me to cleanse the sanctuary. So let's begin again. Chapter 21, beginning at verse 1. Revelation chapter 21, beginning at verse 1 and going down to verse 5. Yeah, nature called me. That's the thing when you're going live. All right, so Revelation 21 from verse 1 to 5. And I saw a new heaven and a new earth, for the first heaven and the first earth were passed away, and there was no more sea. And I, John, saw the holy city, New Jerusalem, coming down from Yahweh out of heaven, prepared as a bride, adorned for her husband. And I heard a great voice out of heaven saying, behold, the tabernacle of Yahweh is with men, and he will dwell with them, and they shall be his people. And Yahweh himself shall be with them and be their most high. And Yahweh shall wipe away all tears from their eyes, and there shall be no more death, neither sorrow nor crying, neither shall there be any more pain, for the former things are passed away. And he that sat upon the throne said, behold, I make all things new. And he said unto me, write, for these words are true and faithful. Now, hold on, brethren. We already read a couple of places, first in Titus and in Matthew, and of course in Acts, where they're going to be a regeneration. Okay. And we looked that up, and regeneration means messianic restoration. So he's going to restore us to what we should have been had Adam not sinned. He's going to restore the earth to what it should have been had Adam not sinned. And there's going to be no trace that sin ever existed on the planet, with one exception. That is the marks on the Messiah himself. So the marks in his hands and his feet, on his head and his side, those marks will be there forever, because those marks indicated what it cost to get us the kingdom. Okay, those marks indicate what it cost to get us the kingdom. Where the Bible says in Genesis 3:15, and it shall, I will put enmity between thee and the woman, and between thy seed and her seed, and it shall bruise thy head, and thou shalt bruise his heel. The heel bruise is a symbol of the marks that he will have on his body. And in fact, we see that in Zechariah chapter 13. Let's take a look at that. Zechariah chapter 13. Zechariah chapter 13, verse 6. And one shall say unto him, what are these wounds in thine hands? Then he shall answer, those with which I was wounded in the house of my friends. See, those of which, so yes, as Stephen Kelly said, it's a memorial of what it cost. See, because remember, the Bible says the former shall not be remembered nor come to mind. All of the horrible things that might have happened to you on planet Earth will no longer be part of your mind, will no longer be part of your existence. You will not remember them. You're going to know and be aware that you have come through stuff, but you won't be able to recognize what exactly it was, the pain of it, the drama of it, the what do they call that? The AD, what do they call that when you the war thing that will not come back to you, and you won't remember it. Okay, you're going to know something happened to you, but there'll be no PTSD. Thank you, brother, sister. There'll be no PTSD. So you won't remember exactly what happened, but you will know that the marks on the Messiah paid for whatever happened to you to get you there. And every one of us will be extremely grateful for the Lamb. See, so that's going to be the only sign that there was sin on the earth. There'll be no more sin, there'll be no more death, and there'll be no more sign that it ever existed. It'll all be, there'll be as Peter said in the book of Acts, there'll be a restitution of all things. There'll be a regeneration, which is messianic restoration. There'll be a restoration, and all things will be as they were before sin came. So in other words, all that the enemy has caused to happen on this earth, all the pollution, all the pain, all the suffering, all the sorrow, there'll be no sign that it ever existed except on the Messiah himself. So when it says, I make a new heaven and a new earth, Everything that man has touched will have to be redone. Everything he has touched will have to be redone. Yep, you're going to know your spouse. You're going to know your loved ones. You're going to have knowledge of all of the people that you now love, that you now know that are there. You're going to know them. You're going to know them. You're going to be very much aware of them. But the pain, any pain that exists, you will not be able to bring it to mind. Okay, it says you will not remember it nor come to mind. You won't be able to bring it to mind. The Bible says you're going to diligently consider the place of the wicked, and it shall not be. You won't be able. They won't be there, and it's almost like you're missing something because the pain, the pressure, the being of sin will not be there. Okay, the being that is sin will not be there. There'll be nobody putting evil thoughts in your mind. It won't be there. It won't be there. The atmosphere will be clean of that. You won't see it. There'll only be righteousness and joy and peace. And you'll know that. And you'll know you come through something. And you'll understand that. But exactly what it is, if some woman was raped, she won't remember it. Okay? If a boy was raped, he won't remember it. Whatever happened, you won't remember it. You'll just know that from the marks on the Messiah, that's how you overcame it. Okay? You'll understand that. Does that make sense, Joe? Isaiah 66, 22 to 24. All right, Brother David, let's take a look at that. Isaiah 66, I know the one he's talking about. Isaiah 66, 22 to 24. Ah, there it is too. There it is again. So Isaiah is saying this a couple of times. Isaiah says it twice at least, right? So we saw it in chapter 65. Now we're seeing it in chapter 66. This is Isaiah 66, 22 to 24. For as the new heavens and a new earth which I will make shall remain before me, saith Yahweh, so shall your seed and your name remain. Praise the Most High. And it shall come to, and there'll be no two people with the same name. There'll be no two people with the same name. Praise the Most High. And it shall come to pass that from one new moon to another, and from one Shabbat to another, shall all flesh come to worship before me, saith Yahweh. And they shall go forth and look upon the carcasses of the men that have transgressed against me. For their worm shall not die, neither shall their fire be quenched. And they shall be an abhorring unto all flesh. Yes, praise the Most High. So we're going to be in a kingdom where there'll be no more existence of whatever was rebellion against the Father. Okay. There'll be no more existence of whatever was a lie. There'll be no more existence of any other God or any other name of God. There'll be no more existence of any pain, of any sorrow, of anything that caused tears or crying or heartache. It won't exist anymore. And it won't be remembered. Okay. Only thing you're going to have in the kingdom is joy and peace, and we'll be in harmony with the earth, and the earth will be in harmony with us, and we'll be in harmony with each other, and we'll be in harmony with the Heavenly Father. Everything in harmony and balance. Everything as He originally made it, as He originally intended it. See, because what we have, I think we can understand that what we have on the earth today is not the intention of the Creator. Okay, so people ask, well, where's God with all this happen? What you have on the earth today is not the intent of the Creator. Therefore, an enemy have done this. You know the parable of the wheat and the tares. He sowed wheat, and he came back and looked on the field, and there was tares in it. And then the parable said, we sowed wheat. Where these tares come from? And he said, an enemy have done this. He said, an enemy have done this. He said, should we pull it? He said, no, don't pull it up, because you might pull up wheat when you go to pull up tares. He said, let it go to the harvest. And when it all grows, we'll separate. And that's what we're dealing with. Okay. When the harvest comes, He's going to separate the wheat from the tares. Okay. He's going to gather in His barn the wheat, and He's going to burn up the tares. And there'll be no reminder that they existed. They'll be gone. They will cease to exist. Okay, so he's going to make everything new. As he said, I make all things new. Praise the Most High. See, all of these places they shot up satellites. That means the whole heaven got to be done over because they put something up there. Okay, and when the wicked rise up in the second resurrection, just because they stand on the ground, it's all gonna be, it's got to be redone because they defiled it by touching it. They defiled it. Okay, by touching the ground that the 1,000 years has cleansed, they would have defiled it. So the Most High is going to make it all good. He's going to make it all new again. He's going to cleanse it by fire and make it all new again. Praise the Most High. Yep. So that's coming. So he said, behold, I make all things new. And that's what he's going to do. Make all things new. We praise the Most High for that. Yeah. So and there will be no unrepentant sinner to ever set foot in Jerusalem. It will never happen. Never happen. Yeah, praise the Most High. That's right. Anything that man has built is corrupted and it's going to have to be destroyed. Anything that man has made is going to have to be destroyed. Okay, that's everything. That's everything from a building, from a car, from a railroad, everything. A satellite, a corporation, anything that man has made will be destroyed. Okay, and we'll start over. So that when you and I are building vineyards, the Bible said we're going to build vineyards, we're going to make buildings. Well, we're building it as people without sin. We're building it as people in harmony with righteousness. See, that's different. But prior to that, anything built has to be destroyed. Anything. Everything that man has set, anything he has touched, anything he has built will be destroyed. That is why the most important thing we can have is something that cannot be built by man. The Spirit of the Father. The Spirit of the Father has nothing to do with man. Okay, and so that's what causes our spirit to be transformed so that he can give us a new body to go with the new spirit. That's what he said, isn't it? I'm going to take the stony heart out your flesh. I'm going to give you a heart of flesh, and I'm going to cause you I'm going to put my spirit within you and cause you to walk on my statutes, and you shall keep my judgments and do them. So he's making everything, including us, new. Everything. Praise the Most High. Okay. Back to Revelation chapter 21. All right. Let's start at verse 5 again. And he that sat upon the throne said, behold, I make all things new. And he said unto me, write, for these words are true and faithful. And he said unto me, it is done. I am Alpha and Omega, the beginning and the end. I will give unto him that is athirst of the fountain of the water of life freely. He that overcometh shall inherit all things, and I will be his Most High, and he shall be my son. You know, I think we understand there is a spirit on the earth where people are always trying to do things to be younger. Isn't that correct? People are always trying to do stuff to be younger. Like if there was a real fountain of youth, people would pay all their money to get it. Right? If there's always like some pill, some magic drink, some food that you can eat that will stop the aging process or reverse it. They'll continue. They come at women. You want to get rid of the crow's feet. You want to get rid of the gray hair. You can dye your hair. You can do surgery. You can get rid of the crow's feet. We can give you whatever that stuff they inject in you, and we can make you look all new and young forever. But it never works. Okay? Because there's only one person, one being that can make you live forever. That's the Father. And he says, I will give you of the fountain of the water of life, which means you drink that water, you won't die. You can have that for free. Praise the Most High. That's right. That's right, E.E. The reason we no longer have access to the tree of life is because the Bible said if Adam had eaten of the tree after he sinned, he would live forever in sin. So he cut off Adam's access. That was why he said, if you eat of the fruit of the tree of the knowledge of good and evil, you will die. It's not like he was going to die that day. It was he will be cut off from the tree of life. The tree of life is what extended his eternal existence. When he cut off from the tree of life, you die. We will now have free access to the tree of life. Free access, he said, to the water of life. And so when we are ingesting that which is eternal, we also will be eternal. See, praise the Most High. So there is no fountain of youth on the planet Earth right now. But when the New Jerusalem comes with it, the tree of life and the river of water of life, there you go. See, so no sinner will have access to that. They want access to it, but they will not get it. We will have free access. He said, you will have the drink of the water of life freely. Praise the Most High. Praise the Most High. Okay. Verse 7. He that overcometh shall inherit all things, and I will be his Most High, and he shall be my son. But the fearful and unbelieving and the abominable and murderers and whoremongers and sorcerers and idolaters and all liars shall have their part in the lake which burneth with fire and brimstone, which is the second death. So, what's being described here in verse 8 are all the unrepentant souls who have not received the Father's Spirit. It's very simple. So when you are a repentant soul and you receive the Father's Spirit, his grace will give you a fearlessness when you need it. He will give you a believing spirit. He will give you a faithful, clean spirit, not a whoremongering spirit. You will only worship him. In fact, that's what the mark of the beast is all about. And the enemy of souls is trying to get us to worship man-made religion. That's an idolater. Okay. Anybody that's worship, the Bible say that all the other religions of the nations are idols. Yahweh made the heavens. So there's only one true God. And we're in the first commandment is, thou shalt have no other gods before me. So anything that's not him will be worshiped by people that are not with him. Okay. Anything that's not him will be worshiped by people that are not with him. And anything that's man-made is not his. Okay. We're talking about the creator. So he has made the heavens. He has made the firmament. He made the water. He made trees. He made us. That's the creator. And he did not ask us to make any religion or anything, just to worship him. Okay. Yeah, it's true, Stephen Kelly. But you see, this is the problem. We are living in a time where accountability is not in abundance, right? Nobody wants to take accountability for anything. And if you want to see a poster child for someone that's totally never accountable, look at your president. Just look at your president. He has never made a mistake. He has never lied. Nothing is his fault. You will never hear him say, I take responsibility for that. You will never hear him say that. You will never hear him say that. He is the poster child for an unrepentant sinner. Okay? And all of his followers are of the same spirit. Unrepentant sinners. And this is what I'm saying. When all of this that he's doing goes to hell in a handbasket, he ain't going to take responsibility. He's going to say, it happened because of this. It happened because of that. This person or these people are at fault. That's why this didn't work. It's not my fault. That's what he's saying. Matter of fact, he's doing a whole bunch of layoffs. The inflation is going up. And he still said, this is not my fault. He said, this is Biden's fault. That's why it's happening. I'm just trying to fix what Biden did. See? So if you want to see what it looks like to be unrepentant, look at your president. If you want to see those that join with, look at his followers. Because that's what you got. Okay? People that are totally unrepentant, totally not taking responsibility or taking accountability for what they and their fathers have done. Period. Those are the people that are being described in verse 8. Because, brethren, without the Father's righteousness covering us, what does the Bible describe us as? Naked. Isn't that right? Naked. They are naked before the Father. And what happened to Adam when he sinned? He saw that he was naked. See? So when we're covered in light and righteousness, we're not naked. But they're all naked before the Father. Praise the Most High. Verse 9. And there came unto me one of the 7 angels, which had the 7 vials full of the 7 last plagues, and talked with me, saying, Come hither, and I will show thee the bride, the Lamb's wife. Now, this is interesting. There used to be people that want to argue that the New Jerusalem is the bride. And then there are those that say the 144,000 are the bride. I want to take you to a verse in which we read in Revelation chapter 3 about the Philadelphia church. Let's take a look in Revelation chapter 3. And let's look at Philadelphia. I want to show you what he promises to the people of the 6th church. Notice what he says in Revelation chapter 3, verse 12. Revelation chapter 3, verse 12. Notice what it says here. Him that overcometh will I make a pillar in the temple of my God, and he shall go no more out. And I will write upon him the name of my God, and the name of the city of my God, which is New Jerusalem, which cometh down out of heaven from my God. And I will write upon him my new name. So what do you have here? The people of the 6th church have the name of the Father, the name of the Son, and the name of the city on them. So you can see that that's all one. So the bride represents the 144,000, and they're inheriting the New Jerusalem. Does that make sense, y'all? So the city with the 144,000 are the bride. It's the combination of both. And on the 144,000, the name of the city is written along with the name of the Father and the Messiah. It's all one. See? Whenever the Bible seems to contradict, seems to give you 2 things, just accept both things. Don't try to say, well, it's this or that. If it says both, it's both. See? So it tells you that on their person, the name of the Father, the Son, and the city are written. It tells you they will be pillars in the temple, and that's a priesthood. Okay? That's a priesthood. So they're going to be priesthood with all the names written. And the Bible says here, you're going to see in Revelation 21, the city, which again, the city itself means nothing without inhabitants. Okay? So the inhabitants of the city are the saved people, but among them, the special group is the 144,000. Praise the Most High. So let's go back. Revelation chapter 21, verse 9. And there came unto me one of the 7 angels, which had the 7 vials full of the 7 last plagues, and talked with me, saying, Come hither, I will show thee the bride, the Lamb's wife. So he carried me away in the spirit to a great and high mountain, and showed me that great city, the holy Jerusalem, descending out of heaven from Yahweh, having the glory of Yahweh. And her light was like unto a stone most precious, even like a jasper stone, clear as crystal, and had a wall great and high, and had 12 gates, and at the gates 12 angels, and names written thereon, which are the names of the 12 tribes of the children of Israel. The names of the 12 tribes. Now, if you recall, in the book of Exodus, chapter 28, Moses is told to create a breastpiece to go over the ephod for the high priest, and have the names of the 12 tribes on this breastpiece. And inside the breastpiece, 12 stones, one for each tribe. You ever recall that? There's 12 stones, one for each side. Now here you have 12 gates, and they also have 12 stones. So you can understand that the stones are applied to the tribe. So when you go back in Exodus and you see the stones, you're going to see the tribe here applied to it, because that's the tribe. You got 12 gates, 12 tribes, 12 stones. Okay. And again, also in book of Ezekiel, chapter 48, again, another witness, you got Exodus and you got Ezekiel telling you the same thing. 12 gates, 12 stones for the 12 tribes. Praise the Most High. Yeah. Okay, here. So Revelation chapter 21, verse 12. And had a wall great and high, and had 12 gates, and at the gates 12 angels, and names written thereon, which are the names of the 12 tribes of the children of Israel. On the east 3 gates, on the north 3 gates, on the south 3 gates, and on the west 3 gates. And the wall of the city had 12 foundations, and in them the names of the 12 apostles of the Lamb. And he that talked with me had a golden reed to measure the city, and the gates thereof, and the wall thereof. And the city lieth 4 square, and the length is as large as the breadth. And he measured the city with a reed, 12,000 furlongs. The length and the breadth and the height of it are equal. He measured the wall thereof 144 cubits. It's beautiful. According to the measure of a man, that is, of the angel. And the building of the wall was of jasper, and the city was pure gold, like unto clear glass. And the foundations of the wall of the city were garnished with all manner of precious stones. The first foundation was jasper, the second, sapphire, the third, chalcedony, the fourth, an emerald, the fifth, sardonyx, the sixth, sardius, and the seventh, chrysolite, and the eighth, beryl, the ninth, topaz, and the 10th, chrysoprasus, and the 11th, jacinth, and the 12th, amethyst. And the 12 gates were 12 pearls. Every several gate was of 1 pearl, and the street of the city was pure gold, as it were transparent glass. And I saw no temple therein, for Yahweh Almighty and the Lamb are the temple of it. And the city had no need of the sun, neither the moon to shine in it, for the glory of Yahweh did lighten it, and the Lamb is the light thereof. And the nations of them which are saved. Now, have you all ever looked up the word nations? What does that mean? The nations of them which are saved. What does that word nations stand for? What does that word nations stand for? It is a book of Numbers, Stephen. That's right. So the Gentile nations is the heathen. It's the Gentiles. And the Gentiles of them which are saved. So these are saved Gentiles shall walk in the light of it. And the kings of the earth do bring their glory and honor into it. And the gates of it shall not be shut at all by day, for there shall be no night there. You know, my grandmother used to think, she asked me once, does that mean we won't have the sun anymore? No, you still will have the sun. But the city has no need of the light of the sun because it's continually lit because the Father and the Son are there. Messiah, praise the Most High. The city itself is a light. And they shall bring the glory and honor of the nations into it. And there shall in no wise enter into it anything that defileth, neither whatsoever worketh abomination or maketh a lie, but they which are written in the Lamb's book of life. So the Gentiles that are saved are not looked upon as ungodly heathen anymore because they're saved. They're in the Messiah's righteousness. They're in the Father's righteousness, right? So, for example, you will see some things where prophets say there'll be no more Gentiles entering in Jerusalem. In fact, Zechariah said the Canaanites shall not come into Jerusalem. What he's talking about is the unsaved heathen will not be there. But as we're reading here, the saved from among the Gentiles will be there. Praise the Most High. They will be able to come in. So praise the Most High because it's about righteousness. It's about purity. It's about holiness. And all of that will exist with all of us who are in the Lamb's book of life. Praise the Most High. Okay. Chapter 22. Chapter 22. Revelation chapter 22. And he showed me a pure river of water of life, clear as crystal, proceeding out of the throne of Yahweh and of the Lamb. And in the midst of the street of it, and on either side of the river, was there the tree of life, which bare 12 manner of fruits, and yielded her fruit every month. And the leaves of the tree were for the healing of the nations. Here's your next quiz question. Where does the Bible describe the tree of life aside from? the book of Revelation? Where does the Bible describe the tree of life? Aside from the book of Revelation. We see it here. Where else is it described? The mouth of 2 or 3 witnesses. So we have 2. That's right. That's right. That's right. Ezekiel. That's right. And Genesis. E is right. And listen to your body is right. In the mouth of 2 or 3 witnesses. But Ezekiel gives you a really detailed description. Genesis does too, but Genesis tells you that Genesis basically says it's called the tree of life, right? But it doesn't tell you about the 12 manner of fruits, right? And how they come out. It doesn't tell you that. But it does. Y'all are right. It's 3 witnesses. There's Moses, there's Ezekiel, and there's John. Y'all are good. Y'all are real good. I got to tell you, y'all are good with that Bible, man. Y'all are dangerous. Here we go. Ezekiel chapter 47. Ezekiel 47. Look at this. Ezekiel 47. I'm going to begin. Let me see. And he showed it to him. The way he showed it to him is something, though. I'm going to begin at verse 1. I'm going to read down to verse 12. Okay. Ezekiel chapter 47 from verse 1 to verse 12. Watch this. Afterward, he brought me again into the door of the house, and behold, the waters issued from under the threshold of the house, eastward. For the forefront of the house stood toward the east, and the waters came down from the right side of the house at the south side of the altar. Then brought he me out of the way of the gate northward, and led me about the way without unto the utter gate by the way that looketh eastward. And behold, there ran out waters from the right side. And when the man that had the line in his hand went forth eastward, he measured 1,000 cubits, and he brought me through the waters, and the water were to the ankles. Again, he measured 1,000, and brought me through the waters, and the waters were to the knee. Again, he measured 1,000, and brought me through the waters, and the waters were to the loins. After he measured 1,000, and brought me, and it was a river that I could not pass over, for the waters were risen, waters to swim in, a river that could not be passed over. And he said unto me, Son of man, hast thou seen this? Then he brought me and caused me to return to the brink of the river. And when I had returned, behold, at the brink of the river, at the bank of the river, there were very many trees on the one side and on the other. Then said he unto me, These waters issue out toward the east country, and go down into the desert, and go into the sea, which being brought forth into the sea, the waters shall be healed. And it shall come to pass that everything that liveth, which moveth, whithersoever the river shall come, shall live. And there shall be a very great multitude of fish, because these waters shall come from thither, for they shall be healed, and everything shall live whither the river cometh. And it shall come to pass that the fishers shall stand upon it from Engedi even unto Engelium, and they shall be a place to spread forth nets, and their fish shall be according to their kinds, as the fish of the great sea, exceeding many. But the miry places thereof and the marshes thereof shall not be healed, they shall be given to salt. And by the river, upon the bank thereof, on this side and on that side, shall grow all trees for meat, whose leaf shall not fade, neither shall the fruit thereof be consumed. It shall bring forth new fruit according to his months, because their waters they issued out of the sanctuary. And the fruit shall be for meat, and the leaf for medicine. Praise the Most High. So you can see there's a river, and the tree is so big that part of its roots are on one side of the river, and part of its roots are on the other side of the river. So both sides of the river, and it grows up over the river and brings forth fruit. It's going to be a giant tree. And every month, it's a new fruit. 12 different fruits. And that's why I say 12 manner of fruit. Every month, a new fruit. And you can never consume it so that it's no more. The more you eat, the more it's there. The more you eat, the more it's there. You'll never be able to finish it. And then next month, there'll be a new fruit there. And the more you eat, the more it's there. It will never be consumed. It will never be finished. Praise the Most High. Okay, so that's the other place. So we know that in the book of Genesis, as you mentioned it correctly, that there's the fruit, there's the tree of life. Okay. Here in Ezekiel, it told us 12 manner of fruits. It told us it's going to be on each side of the river. It gave a description, one fruit for each month. And then it tells us for the leaves of the tree are for the healing of nations, and the tree shall be for meat, for food. Okay. Now, chapter 22 of the book of Revelation, beginning of verse 1 again. And he showed me a pure river of water of life, clear as crystal, proceeding out of the throne of Yahweh and of the Lamb. And in the midst of the street of it, and on either side of the river, was there the tree of life, which bare 12 manner of fruits, and yielded her fruit every month. And the leaves of the tree were for the healing of the nation. See? So it's the same tree. Now Ezekiel seen it. Now John saw it. And Moses saw it. Right? It's 3 witnesses. And there shall be no more curse, but the throne of Yahweh and of the Lamb shall be in it, and his servants shall serve him. And they shall see his face, and his name shall be in their foreheads. Praise the Most High. And there shall be no night there, and they need no candle, neither light of the sun, for Yahweh Most High giveth them light. And they shall reign forever and ever, no end. Praise the Most High. World without end. And he said unto me, these sayings are faithful and true. The Most High Yahweh of the holy prophets has sent his angel to show unto his servants the things which must shortly be done. And here we are living in the time when these things are about to be done. Behold, I come quickly. Blessed is he that keepeth the sayings of the prophecy of this book. And I, John, saw these things and heard them. And when I had heard and seen, I fell down to worship before the feet of the angel which showed me these things. And he said unto me, see thou do it not, for I am thy fellow servant and of thy brethren the prophets, and of them which keep the sayings of this book. Worship Yahweh. And he said, he said unto me, seal not the sayings of the prophecy of this book, for the time is at hand. You recall in the book of Daniel, the angel told Daniel, seal up the things in the book until the time of the end. Remember that? He said, seal up the sayings, the prophecy of this book until the time of the end. Here, he's saying, seal not. In other words, now it's going to all be revealed. Seal not the sayings of the prophecy of this book, for the time is at hand. For the fact that you and I are able to look at this book of Revelation and understand, even for the first part, what exactly is going on, is the time of the end. Okay, it's the time of the end because the Father is allowing us. That's what we only understand the word of the Most High because the Father allows us to. You see, the heathen don't understand. They never will. Anybody involved with man-made religion will never understand the book of Revelation. They just won't. It's not given to them. It's given to those of us seeking the Father alone. That's what it's given. It's given to us seeking the Father alone, seeking his spirit and his word. That's why it's given to us as his servants. It's not given to everybody. So it's unsealed for us to know. And why? Because these things are shortly coming to pass. And in order to understand where you are, right? It's easier to understand where you are when you first understand where you came from. Am I making sense to you? It's easy to understand where you are and its significance of where you are when you understand where you came from. So we understand now where we came from. We understand how we got to the present place where we are. And now, praise the Most High, we understand where we're going. When you have those 3 things, you are the most balanced of people because now you understand who you are, where you came from. And that's what caused us as Hebrews to be confused for most of our sojourn in our enemy's land. We forgot who we were. We don't know how we got here. We don't know why we're here. So that it's almost like you just dropped into this nightmare. right? You just dropped into this American nightmare and they're telling you it's the American dream. But no, it's no dream for us. It's been a nightmare for us. So you're like, we just dropped in here. How did we get here? And why are we here? Now we understand. We understand how we got here. We understand where we came from to get here. And we understand where we're going. When you have that knowledge, you are ahead of the game. Way ahead. Way ahead. Okay? None of the heathen will understand. But the wise shall understand. Praise the Most High. Okay. Now, seal not the sayings of the prophecy of this book, for the time is at hand. What time? Verse 11. He that is unjust, let him be unjust still. And he which is filthy, let him be filthy still. And he that is righteous, let him be righteous still. And he that is holy, let him be holy still. Brethren, we talked about this the other day. People are now, as we speak, sealing their eternal fate. And what you and I are going through, you see, is a process that the Father has already declared. What do I mean? When you are conscious that you are, and I don't want to use the term, I hate to use that term because people misuse it with a thing called a conscious movement. That's not what we're talking about. But when you are conscious of who you are, where you come from, who you belong to, when you are conscious of that, that came from the word of the Father that you should exist now. And that word of the Father that you should exist now works in you until you're finished. The Bible said, he that hath begun a good work in you will perform it unto the day of the Messiah. And then there are those who are not wanting truth, that are believing and embracing and welcoming a lie. He that is unjust, let him be unjust still. He with is filthy, let him be filthy still. See, so as we receive righteousness, that's just the beginning. It's no coincidence. If you are of a mind that you keep seeking the Father for repentance, you keep seeking the Father for his Spirit, that's of the Father. You're not doing that simply because you think it's a good thing. You're doing it because he's calling you. He's calling you because he's finishing a work in you, and he's promised to finish it. So you don't have to measure yourself to see where you are. This ain't like, somebody trying to say, well, I used to be able to jump X number. I used to jump 35 inches. Now I jump 38 inches. No. The Father will bring you to the spot of perfection. You just have to stay with him. And the whole thing, the whole work is of him. The fact that you exist right now in a few years before the kingdom actually is set forth, he brought you here. You could have been born 100 years ago, 200 years ago, 300 years ago, 1,000 years ago. You could have been born at any time. He had you born now. He brought you here. Okay? So he is going to finish. All you got to do is hang on. He that overcometh, right? He that endures to the end. That's just saying, hang on. That's all you got to do. Hang on. He that endures to the end, the same shall be saved. Hang on. Don't let go. Hang on to your heavenly Father. He will not come up short with you. He's not going to do it. See, he ain't start something with you not to finish it. He's going to see it through. Praise the Most High. Praise our Most High. That's right. Okay, so that's the term that's being sent right now. That word you can see in action in people, okay, when they be stabbing each other up and have no conscience about doing it. Dude stabbed a little 6-year-old boy to death, and they sentencing him yesterday, and he just stone faces ever, like he has no conscience about what he did. Stabbed a little 6-year-old boy to death. Okay, he has no conscience about it. He that is unjust, let him be unjust still. He that is filthy, let him be filthy still. That's a lot of people crossing that line right now. A lot of people. You're seeing it in their actions, but there are those that you don't see no actions, but they've crossed the line. Okay, and they're not coming back. They're not coming back. Praise the Most High for giving us the mercy and grace. Praise his name. Okay, verse 12. And behold, I come quickly, and my reward is with me, to give every man according as his work shall be. I am Alpha and Omega, the beginning and the end, the first and the last. Blessed are they that do his commandments, that they may have right to the tree of life, and may enter in through the gates into the city. For without are dogs and sorcerers and whoremongers and murderers and idolaters, and whosoever loveth and maketh a lie. Notice he keeps mentioning liars. Again, the thing is, of all things, brethren, follow truth. Ask the Father to show you truth, and ask him to give you grace to walk in truth. Because the wicked will not walk in truth. They walk in what's convenient for them. And truth is never convenient to Babylon. Never. Whosoever loveth and maketh a lie. I, Yahushua, have sent mine angel to testify unto you these things in the assemblies. I am the root and the offspring of David, the bright and morning star. And the Spirit and the bride say, come. And let him that heareth say, come. And let him that is athirst come. And whosoever will, let him take the water of life freely. For I testify unto every man that heareth the words of the prophecy of this book, if any man shall add unto these things, Yahweh shall add unto him the plagues that are written in this book. And if any man shall take away from the words of the book of this prophecy, Yahweh shall take away his part out of the book of life, and out of the holy city, and from the things which are written in this book. He that testifieth these things say, surely I come quickly. Amen. Even so, come, Master Yahushua. The grace of the Master Yahushua be with you all. Amen. Thus, we have finished the book of Revelation in our study of the book of Revelation in the 2025 Revelation series. By the grace of the Father, as long as I'm on YouTube, we will continue to do this every year, because we're always being awakened to more knowledge and deeper truth. We're always being awakened to more knowledge and deeper truth. And that's right. The Walking Dead, sister, relax your mind. That's absolutely true. People are walking dead right now. They're just dead people. They just don't realize it until it happens to them. Okay, they're just walking around, walking dead. That's exactly what's going on. When you don't have truth and you don't have the Spirit, that's all you are, walking dead. Okay, you just don't realize it until it's over. Praise the Most High. I'm not sure what book we're doing next. I was just praying on the Heavenly Father, and we'll decide that next week by the grace of the Father. But we just finished the book of Revelation 2025. Praise the Most High. We will have it publicly available off the YouTube channels. You can always go through it. Praise the Most High. May the Most High bless you and keep you. May he cause his face to shine upon you and be gracious unto you. And may he lift up his countenance upon you and give you peace. Shalom, family.